Hey friends, Low Carb Keith here, and today I am going to make one of my favorite dishes of all time. It is a pizza. I've been on a pizza kick the last few days, so today I'm going to make a chicken crust pizza. Now I made this once before, it's been probably over a year ago. I did a TikTok, but I'm just going to do it again in case you've not seen it. It's really easy to do. And it's delicious, absolutely delicious. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a can of chicken. This is a 12-ounce can of chicken. And what we're going to do is I've already drained all of the water out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a piece of parchment paper. First of all, I'm going to kind of break it up a little bit. All right, and put it on my parchment paper. Okay. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to spread it out a little bit, because what we're going to do with this is we're going to put this in the oven and we're going to dry it out a little bit. And what you do is you preheat your oven to 350 degrees, kind of spread it out a little bit, and put it on a baking sheet in your parchment paper, and we're going to put it in for about 10 minutes into the oven. And once it dries out a little bit, it'll be easier to mix up, and then we'll mix it up and we will make our crust. So there we go. It's kind of spread out a little bit, and let's put that in the oven at 350, and in about 10 minutes I'll be back. There we go. Okay friends, my chicken has been in the oven for about 10 minutes, getting some of the moisture out of it. So let's take it out. All right, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the chicken, take the parchment paper, we're going to and we want to get the chicken in a bowl. So let's take the chicken and put it in this bowl right here. It's still got a little bit of moisture in it, but that's okay. It's not going to, you don't want it to be completely dry. Okay. There we go. Make sure you get all of it. All right. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of grated Parmesan, which is I've got right here. And I'm just going to eyeball that. About 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan. I think that's probably good right there. And we're going to add 1 egg. This is a large egg, so if it's a small egg, you might want to put 2 in there. All right, there's our egg. And now we're just going to mix that up. Get it mixed up good. Try to break up some of those pieces of chicken if you can. This is one of the first things that I learned how to make when I was starting cooking low carb. And I just saw a video on the internet of somebody doing this, and I said, I bet that would be delicious. And sure enough, it is. All right, so I think that's mixed up pretty well. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take another piece of parchment paper. We're going to lay this out just like that, and I'm going to dump this onto the parchment paper. Get you something that you can get all the chicken out with. Make sure it's all there. All right. And now, let's spread it out a little bit. Okay? Spread it out. Shape it a little bit if you can into kind of a circle. All right. Because we want to get this thin. We want to get this down to about 1/4 of an inch. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take another piece of parchment paper and put it on top, and then we're going to roll it with a rolling pin. You can even take that and spread it out with your hands some. Okay? You don't want it to get off the parchment paper. Yeah, just kind of spread it out with your hands like that, and then let's roll it out a little bit. Like I said, about 1/4 of an inch. That's what you want. Okay. And this is almost taking up all the parchment paper, which is fine. Normally I would make this with a 10.5 ounce can of chicken, but they didn't have that. They had this 12.5 ounce can of chicken, and you get a little bit more chicken with it. Okay, so that's pretty good size right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top part off. Oh yeah, that's going to be a nice big pizza. So this is going to be your crust. And let's get those side pieces kind of pushed back in there a little bit. Okay, and we're going to put this back on our baking sheet. Oh, and something that I forgot to tell you, pump the oven up to about 400 degrees for this. You could even go 450 if you wanted to. But we're going to cook this for about between 8 and 10 minutes. It just depends on how it looks. This is going to be our crust. And the next thing that we're going to do is once we get the crust made, then we will add our toppings, okay? And then we will bake it once again. So this is kind of a 3-step process. All right, so let's get this on our baking sheet. Just like that. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to get this back in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We'll check on it at 8 and see if it needs to go a little bit longer. But this is our crust. All right. Okay, friends, my pizza crust has been in the oven for, probably about 9 or 10 minutes. And it looks like it's done, so let's take it out. And this is what it looks like. Okay? Now we're going to turn the oven back down to 350. All right, for now. And but it's going back in the oven, so if it's still a little floppy, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our toppings. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pizza sauce. This is a pretty good size crust for this. The other can of chicken, the smaller can of chicken, didn't quite make it this big. But we're going to put about 1/4 of a cup of, this is my great value Walmart low-carb pizza sauce that I found at the store, and I used it on the pizza that I made with the chaffle the other day. So we're just going to put a little bit on there, maybe 1/4 of a cup. Okay, I'm going to spread it around, try to get it. I might have to add a little bit more, but that's okay. Spread it around as close to the edge as you can. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to add just a little bit more. Not much. Okay, just like that. Just enough to give it a little pizza flavor. Okay, just like that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so there's my pizza sauce. And the next thing is I still have some, I have some black olives and some mushrooms that were left over from the pizza that I made with the chaffle the other day. So I'm going to put those on there. You could put any kind of veggie that you want to on here. You know, the thing about it is, these are, you don't really have to put meat on this because the meat is in the crust. All right, we're just going to grab all that and just fill it up. I really like black olives, so I like a lot of black olives. So put that on there, just like that. Okay, there we go. And now, we're going to put some cheese, mozzarella cheese, right on top of it. And I'm probably going to do a half a cup, maybe a little bit more. Let's just take it. I might even do a whole cup. I'm going to spread that around. Try to get it as much on the whole thing as possible. Yeah, this is going to be, for this size pizza, this is going to be pretty much a full cup. But that's okay. Yeah, there's just a little bit left, so let's just do that. All right, and that, my friends, is our chicken crust pizza right there. That's what it looks like. See it? All right. This is going to go back in the oven for about another 8 to 9 minutes. And then we will take it out and we will have a taste. All right, there we go. Well, friends, this is my pizza. I've already taken a couple of bites out of it. This is my chicken crust pizza. And it is absolutely delicious. You can't beat this with a stick. Actually, I forgot to turn my phone on a while ago when I took it out. So I'll repeat a little bit of what I said. I was talking about carbs. How many carbs is in this? This whole pizza has about 10 carbs in it for the whole thing. Okay? It has about 700 to 800 calories. I can't eat the whole thing. I probably could eat the whole thing, but I wouldn't. I would usually have half of that for a meal. And, you know, it is just, look at this. Let me pick it up. Let me have another piece of it. That's my chicken crust. It's thin. It's my topping on it. Okay? Let's take a bite. Man, is that good or what? It just hits the spot. And you've got that sauce on there and the cheese and the veggies, whatever kind of veggies you want to put on there. And then you've got the chicken. This is the perfect keto or low carb pizza, in my opinion. It's really easy to make. It cost me in ingredients. The chicken was the most expensive part. The ingredients cost me about, I don't know, $7 to make this. So not only is it good, it's good for you, and it's good and cheap. So anyway, like I said when we started, this is one of my favorite things to cook, low carb. And it is delicious. So I hope you get a chance to make a chicken crust pizza for you and for maybe your family. Last year I made one and took it to school and let some of my students, you know, I teach high school, have a taste of it. And they've been begging me to make another one and bring it back. So I may have to do that before the end of the school year. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. And be sure and follow me on all the social media. I'm Low Carb Keith. And we'll see you in a few more days with another low carb dish.